and we're excited about having you join us here as we're introducing the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint in our first seminar to the country. For those of you who aren't familiar with EPL, EPL is a credit union-owned CUSO. Here, as Bruce said, located in Birmingham, Alabama. We serve over 100 credit unions in over 20 states, all the way from the East Coast all the way out to Hawaii. And we provide our customers technology solutions. Our primary business is core processing, but what we focus on at EPL is really being an extension of our credit union customers and helping them by providing services to help them support their strategies in almost every aspect of their business. And when it's all said and done, what we're here to do is to help credit unions compete in their communities. And with that in mind, we know that there's a lot of change going on in the world we live in today, particularly in the world of healthcare. And we at EPL believe this is a tremendous opportunity for credit unions to strengthen their relationships with their members and build new relationships within their communities. And to help us deliver a solution that would take care of that opportunity, we've formed a partnership with another company that's located here in Birmingham, Alabama, and that is Health Partners of America. And Health Partners of America and EPL have been working to develop the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint. As I mentioned today, we're really proud to be introducing that. I'm pleased to introduce to you a gentleman who's been working alongside me, the president of Health Partners America, and his name is Josh Hilgers. And Josh has been working in the defined contribution area and really pioneering and training the concept to minimize risk and increase profits and provide tax-free raises to employees without cost to employers. He has been working on his visionary strategies long before the Affordable Health Care Act was even a bill, and that's made him a long sought-after speaker for associations, unions, Fortune 500 companies, and many more. Josh brings to this partnership a tremendous wealth of knowledge and experience, and I'm pleased to introduce Josh as he's going to be walking us through the seminar today. So with that, Josh, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Wayne. Thank you guys for joining us today. Obviously, you guys are facing challenges as credit unions. You've had your normal business challenges, the pressure on margins, the need for new fee income, membership growth and retention, and competing in the communities that you're serving. But now we've got all of these new issues around health reform. You've probably already been questioned by your members or even by your staff on how you are going to, as a business and as a credit union, face these issues. So what we want to do is share with you some strategies that we think you'll be pretty excited about by the end of this webinar. To get there and share with you what we're doing with the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint, I thought it was important for you to understand what's going on in the health insurance space. If we look at how Americans were getting their health insurance in the last few years, the majority still had their health insurance through their employer, about 145 million Americans, including their dependents. The number of people buying their own health insurance, direct to consumers, was around 40 million. This number has more than tripled since 2002, as fewer and fewer employers have been able to offer health insurance, or as more and more employees have thought that group health insurance was too expensive and have moved to the individual market, where they could get a policy price just for their family, depending on their age and their health. Medicare serves around 47 million Americans, and Medicaid serves around 45 million Americans. And we've got the uninsured. Obviously, this number bounces around depending on which news story you read, of around 40 million Americans. So as early as 2015, as we undergo a full year of implementation of the Affordable Care Act, we're going to see a shift. The uninsured is going to move from 40 million to around 20 million, as the Congressional Budget Office expects around 20 million uninsured to use subsidies or new eligibility requirements for Medicaid to get insurance. So there's definitely a focus on the underserved in our communities by offering those types of the policies to the lower income. Medicaid, again, is going to expand. There's going to be a focus on the underserved in our communities through Medicaid expansion, depending on which state you're in. Some are expanding all the way up to 133% of the federal poverty level. For those that don't expand Medicaid, their citizens will also be able to access those government subsidies. They will pay as much as 94% of their insurance premium from a private company. We've also got Medicare. There's going to be some changes in Medicare. It's going to be a great market for the next 20 years, as about 8,000 baby boomers a day will age into Medicare. The number of people buying personal policies and the number of people on group insurance are going to see the largest shift. It could be as many as 185 million Americans that are buying insurance for themselves thanks to these new exchanges and the subsidies to help individuals pay for health insurance. We'll get into more of that in just a little bit. But obviously those would be shifting from the group market and the employer marketplace, as fewer employers will find value in providing insurance to their employees when those subsidies and guaranteed issue policies that the employee owns are available in the individual market. So just in summary, if we take a look at the Congressional Budget Office numbers, which are the more conservative ones, or even a McKinsey consulting study, it's estimated that from 28 million to 125 million consumers are going to change how and where they get their health insurance in the year 2014. This is going to cause a shift in roles for employers. Instead of their health plan being an important component in attracting and retaining employees, this defined contribution platform, where an employer makes tax-free dollars available to his employees and lets him choose his own plan in the marketplace, will be a more important component in attracting and retaining those employees. Instead of selecting the plan for the employees, they would simply choose the contribution amount and which platform to offer their employees. Instead of collecting money and paying the carriers, the employer is simply going to be reimbursing premiums in coordination with payroll. And the concerns that you may have over funding and participation requirements, or your members who are business owners that face those same concerns, there is no minimum contribution or participation requirements in a defined contribution platform, which will make compliance much easier. The employee's role is going to shift as well. Instead of not having a say in the employer plan, it's kind of been a take it or leave it approach, where an employer says, hey, I'm willing to give you X amount of dollars per month towards this health plan, but if you don't take the plan, you don't get those dollars. Now the employees will have a choice of any plan from any carrier available in that state. In the past, the employer has deducted the premium contribution and paid the carrier, and now the employee will have a direct relationship with the carrier and may receive a reimbursement from their employer. There have been few consumer-driven options available, as employers have feared that the higher deductible choices may adversely affect their employees. What we found in the exchanges that are already available and consumers are choosing their own plan is that over 80% of them are choosing higher deductible their own money through spending accounts like FSAs or HSAs. And this just requires education and guidance on these high deductible health plans. And the health plan's not always been paired well with the ancillary and supplemental insurance offerings, so there hasn't been a maximization of the dollars being spent. Having an exchange model where all of those plans and the complementary ancillary or supplemental plans can be available side by side will ensure that there's a complete planning to maximize every dollar being spent. So if we take a look at the shifting environment and take a look at the different market viewpoints, I'm going to start at the lower left here with the TPAs and work our way around. The TPAs, third-party administrators, are wondering, how do I leverage what I'm good at as the market changes? So managing these spending accounts and reimbursement accounts is primarily their focus. Insurance consultants and brokers are needing to rethink how to provide value to their customers. Employers don't just want a spreadsheet on group insurance any longer. They want strategies on how to use benefits to attract and retain employees. The consumers are saying control and choices are great, but I need this to be made easy for me, simple to understand, and know what my choices are and have some help in making those decisions. Employers are saying, help me continue offering benefits. I know there's a way to use them as a strategy to attract and retain employees, but the traditional model of group insurance may actually hurt my employees, So please help me understand what to do in this new model. Insurance exchanges want to know, how do I make it easy for employers and employees to participate in my exchange? Health insurance carriers want to keep groups intact because they love the involvement of the employer, but they need to create a relationship directly with the consumers. And finally, financial institutions. The big question is, how do I help my customers or members with one of the biggest problems they face, which is understanding these new options available because of health reform? To us, this is what provides a unique opportunity. Your members, as a credit union, are either employers or consumers. And the bridge that can be made between the insurance consultants, the third-party administrators, and the health insurance carriers with a credit union exchange powered by EPL can help those members meet those needs. As a matter of fact, 79% of employees view their employers as a trustworthy source to help them grow and protect their money, second only to credit unions, which is at 81%. The community already sees you as a key trustworthy source to help them grow and protect their money, and using that credibility to help them understand these new health insurance reform options that they have can be a very unique opportunity for credit unions to take advantage of it. Of course, the credit union's view is once a member, always a member, and being able to connect the credit unions to these health insurance options is going to be vital. They're navigated by members, but powered by credit unions. It's a turnkey solution for health insurance coverage, providing consistency and portability, security, trusted and informed advisors, diverse and customizable coverage to meet each individual's needs, and new member growth and a stream of revenue for the credit unions. We'll get into that in a little more detail later as well. I wanted to take a step back and talk about these exchanges. This is something new that we're hearing about, and we wanted to do just a quick 101 on exchanges because it's a pretty broadly defined term at this point. If we take a look at the basics, in the blue here are the group insurance exchange models, and in the orange are the individual exchange models. In the group exchange model, you could have a single carrier offering a group exchange on their own website. You could have a multiple carrier group exchange model where you've got multiple carriers, ABC carrier, XYZ carrier, 123 carrier, and the employer says, hey, that's the plan I want to offer to my employees. This is basically an online spreadsheet of the options that would be available to their to each employer. But the employees don't have a say in their plan. The third here is a multi-carrier group where the consumer chooses the carrier. This is the best looking model on paper, where the employer can make a defined contribution available and the consumer can choose from a multitude of different carriers to meet their own needs. Unfortunately, this is the model that's least likely to gain acceptance because the carriers have a problem with adverse selection when they put their plans next to each other without guaranteed participation. And so the only actual model of this that's in place is the one that was launched by Aon with Sears and Darden Restaurants with over 100,000 members. And it takes that type of volume before this model can even become an option. Of course, there's the small group shop exchange, which will be one of the public exchanges opening in 2014. They were originally slated to include a multi-carrier consumer choice model, but that has been delayed because they're facing the same challenges in getting the carriers to participate in that type of model. And then you've got the individual market. So you've got a single carrier individual model. So a carrier has their own website with all of the different plans they offer in the individual market. And then a multi-carrier individual option where you've got a host of multiple carriers that each consumer can come in and choose from, see the premiums next to each other, the benefits next to each other, the networks next to each other, and choose their own plan. And then, of course, that's going to be very similar to the public exchange solution. The individual state and federal exchange, depending on which state you're in, these are going to operate with that multi-carrier individual model in mind. But, of course, that's where they're going to be able to provide the subsidies for those that make less than 400% of the federal poverty level to access an individual plan at a more affordable price. One of the original intents of the Affordable Care Act was to only have those subsidies available through the government or public exchanges. But in March of 2012, HHS came out with a surprising announcement that they thought that they would be able to get more consumers accessing these subsidies in individual plans if they were to integrate with private exchanges. And so they've made that pathway where private exchanges can actually offer the subsidies on their own websites. Several of the articles that have been posted about this, PPAC and Feds say their exchanges will love agents. New health insurance exchange regulations make room for brokers. And of course, this last one here, a little noted provision on agents and brokers could mean big changes for exchanges. So any advantage that the government exchange would have had by offering those subsidies, dollars to help pay for plan, has now been levelized with the advent of this web-based entity, which is the bridge that a private exchange can actually offer individual subsidies. One of the articles that came out after this announcement was this one, that these e-health type exchanges, multiple consumer individual exchanges, are eyeing a possible $4 billion market, and that's just the 22 million uninsured Americans that will be accessing coverage. It doesn't even include the amount of employers dropping insurance and those employees that are on their own for insurance buying health plans through this marketplace. And we saw in a recent survey that employers are interested but need guidance on integrating insurance exchanges into their benefits strategy. Also, that insurers are flocking to private exchanges. With 56% of employers considering a private exchange, the carriers wanted to be involved in offering products through this new exchange model. So exchanges are a new paradigm. They're going to be a permanent, significant part of the healthcare world going forward, because they are a powerful, adaptable way of meeting a variety of employer needs. If we take a look even at different group sizes of those who have already said they're going to switch, regardless of whether or not they're savings, or if the savings would be at least 10% over what they're paying now, even groups as large as 3,000, you see that over 70% of those types of employers, those sizes of employers, are considering an exchange. What are the other benefits of members being covered by an appropriate health insurance plan? Obviously, being able to protect their assets. The uninsured or underinsured are risks for depleting savings, cashing out CDs and other investments, and ultimately maybe even defaulting on loans. You have an increase in deposits. If you offer health savings accounts, you'd be able to increase the deposits when those insurance high deductible insurance policies are being purchased and paired with those health savings accounts. And a lot of employers adopting this defined contribution model are opening up premium accounts for their employees so that they can deposit those dollars and allow their employees to pay for their health insurance through a separate account so that they don't get confused with commingling their funds with their normal general account. There's also an increased revenue opportunity. On insurance products that you may already be marketing, you can drive more traffic since more people are going to be coming to look for the health insurance solutions that they're going to be offered. There are new marketing avenues for your financial products, and exchange, speaking directly to consumers, taking advantage of that traffic of anywhere from 25 to 125 million consumers needing to look for an answer. You can also replace other streams of income that have been attacked by regulation, and of course increasing the value of that credit union relationship. So in order to help you meet these goals, EPL and HPA is combined to provide the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint. I'm going to give you a simple product overview and share with you what this looks like. But there are four main components. There's the Credit Union Private Exchange Administrator area, the Private Exchange CRM or Client Relationship Management tool, and then a fulfillment center staffed with licensed agents in all 50 states. Let's take a closer look at the first component, which is the online marketplace. You'll have your own private exchange branded for your credit union. The members can shop for and buy insurance products on their own. Quoting tools are available, and you have multiple templates to choose from. The branding would not only be your own, but the color scheme can be matched for your online marketplace. We include things like education for the individuals, cartoons, little videos that help them understand exactly what their options are. In the private exchange administrator area, you'll have the tools and training and the modules that will help you understand how to use the technology, what's going on in the marketplace, and how to best market to your members or potential members to get them to visit your online marketplace and see what insurance options might work best for their family. We have customizable sheets and presentations and a very simple, easy to follow wizard to set up your very own private exchange. The private exchange CRM allows you to view and track all of the leads or inquiries from your members or potential members that are looking for insurance products. You can set up regular reporting to be emailed straight to your inbox, and it allows you to keep up with members who have purchased insurance, see exactly what the underwriting status or the status of all of those policies are. And lastly, the call center. This is not a typical call center. It's actually a fulfillment center that allows you to share in the revenue while their experts licensed in all 50 states close the deal. Our agents present themselves as your credit union, so the scripting, the unique 800 number, and instructions are fully customizable so that there's a smooth experience for your credit union members. So we have broad capabilities but very focused execution. It's optimized to be the most profitable for your business. You've got multiple insurance lines available. The leads for products that you may already be marketing would come to you. You can support any existing insurance relationships. Of course, you continue to own the relationships for any of your members or potential members accessing information about insurance products, and it can support your existing QSO. And it also provides new capabilities without you having to create a QSO if you don't have one. So what makes the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint unique? It is a true end-to-end solution from prospecting all the way through sales and servicing. It allows complete customization, site branding, lead direction, products, and it can support both group and individual solutions. So what is the win? By offering the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint, you'll be able to increase membership, offer strategic growth products and services, strengthen member and community relationships right now in their time of need while they have confusion and there's turmoil over health reform. You can activate new employee and employer benefits and become a national leader and prominent exchange expert. And you are that community hub, all because healthcare is changing for 145 million people. To get started, the Credit Union Exchange has a very low financial investment for our initial charter members only. The cost of installation is $7,500. That includes the training and all of the marketing materials, and our exchange implementation experts working with you to bring this into incorporated with your own marketing efforts. There's a $750 monthly ongoing investment that includes the continued support, marketing support, updates, and ongoing training. And best of all, credit unions actually can receive a revenue share based on member participation. To learn more about how the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint can benefit your credit union and to see an ROI calculator, you can visit creditunionexchangeblueprint.com. We're very excited to be working with EPL to bring the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint into your marketplace. We hope that you see the value in you becoming that hub for your community. I'll turn things back over to Bruce and see if we've had any questions come in.
Josh, thank you very much. Very enlightening and powerful presentation of the changes that are coming in the credit union industry. And as a reminder, we do have the ability for everyone to ask questions on the right-hand side of your toolbar. There's a question tab, and simply type in your questions to the panelists, and we'll be able to run through those questions. The first question comes from David, and David is asking, what carriers are available and where?
So the way that the product works, we've got, if you want it to be sold and supported by the call center, There are over 80 current carriers in all 50 states that are represented. We can have a more detailed list sent out via email if that's the most appropriate way to do. Obviously, just listing all of those carriers would be difficult. Also, the evolution of the carriers is something we're keeping a close eye on because it's going to be important that any carriers that are making products available as qualified health plans through state or federal exchanges where the subsidies can be spent are going to be the highest priority for us to make available.
Very good, thank you. Another question comes from another David, and saying, when does this process start?
We can start now. We've got the ability to get started immediately after this webinar. We hope to hear from you and get the implementation going, and we are ready to roll.
Very good. A question from Mark asking about the timeline. If we would be interested in getting this up and going, what is a reasonable timeline to be able to start communicating with members?
Well, depending on the extensiveness of the initial campaign, you know, I would say anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, depending on, you know, how much they would want to integrate it into any, you know, email, print, radio, television. You know, depends on their current advertising campaign. But we can certainly have the exchange up and running and the initial marketing package together within 2 to 4 weeks.
Very good. Another question from Tom asking about, we support a lot of individual companies and select employee groups. Can they participate in our exchange?
They absolutely can. They're going to be looking at 2 different possible solutions, or 3 actually. They may want to continue to offer fully insured group, self-funded plans, or they may want to look at a defined contribution model where the individual consumers are choosing their own plan. Most small businesses are moving in that direction because of the subsidies available, and we'll be able to help each of those members decide which is the best path for them.
Okay. And Mary is asking kind of a complimentary question. If one of my select employee groups companies wants to set up their own exchange, can they do it through us?
They absolutely can. We've got the ability to create a customized online marketplace for that specific group, and all of the back-end tracking through the CRM would be intact, and you'd be able to continue to manage all of those relationships and identify those different sources.
Okay, very good. David is asking another question about, are multiple carriers available side by side, and does a member pick and choose who is on the exchange, or does a credit union pick and choose who is available to be posted on the exchange?
There's certainly some flexibility there. You know, if they want to only allow certain carriers, certain products, those customizations are available. Most credit unions and most exchanges that we've built want to have the full slate of products available to each consumer, or else your exchange just isn't as attractive if the inventory is not there. So, but yeah, those customizations are certainly available.
Okay. Another complimentary question about types of insurance. Can we offer other types of insurance through the exchange other than or in addition to health insurance?
Absolutely, and that's going versus other exchange models and the government exchanges, which are only focused on health and sometimes dental insurance. We've got the ability to promote, enroll, administer, sell, serve, life, disability, accident, critical illness, dental, vision, all types of insurance.
Great. And Adam asks, if I noticed you mentioned CUSOs. If we are a part of a CUSO, how does the CUSO participate in our exchange?
We can definitely have a conversation and see what we built here is a way for you to promote the products and the services that are going to make the most sense for you. So if the CUSO is marketing insurance products just through the credit union's website, Obviously, there's going to be more traffic drawn to an exchange offering these health insurance solutions, and so we can position those insurance products within the online marketplace. So it's using this online marketplace to benefit and promote the QSO's goals and products, and taking advantage of the traffic that's going to be driven because of the health reform situation.
Very good. And David asks another question. Is there a demo of an existing exchange site available?
Yes, there are. And I believe that when we go to the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint.com, you can schedule a one-on-one demo with one of our exchange implementation experts, and they can take you through, I think we actually have 4 unique demo sites with all 4 of the different templates available, and they can walk you through and show you exactly what those look like, where you can create customizations and promote your own products.
Excellent. Going back to the setting up the private exchanges for select employee groups or employer groups, is there an additional charge for this for the separate select employee group site?
Yeah, each online marketplace requires us to create a unique SSL certified website and use the API feeds to tie in the quote engines, the CRM, etc. So there are additional costs for the online marketplace. It's much lower than the cost of the entire system. And I'll let Wayne address those costs, or if they want to do that during the one-on-one demos.
Very good. And Debbie asks, is any credit union available to join and set up the exchange, or is it just EPL credit unions?
Any credit union is available to, this product is available to. EPL has been our partner in building this because of Wayne's unique background and understanding of the insurance marketplace. But the intent was to build this as a product that any credit union can use to benefit their members.
Josh, this is Wayne. I just want to emphasize that as well. This is not a product that was built for only EPL customers. This was absolutely built with the vision that hopefully we can create an opportunity for credit unions nationwide to participate with the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint.
Excellent. And Ann asks a question, can we use the exchange for our employees at the credit union?
Absolutely. That's usually going to be the first place you start. And some of the educational components that are a part of the administrator area will be especially useful to you to understand, what's going on in the marketplace, why most of your employees would benefit more from insurance available through the exchanges. And of course, as a credit union uses it for their own employees, it's going to make it a much easier path for them to be able to market it to their members, knowing that it's been the best solution for their employees as well.
Very good. And David asks, what are the marketing pieces that are supplied as part of our investment in the exchange?
I think the list is too long to just run off the top of my head, Bruce. All mediums are covered.
Agree. And David, there is videos to walk through how the site works. There is materials for employees, employers, as well as going out and possibly setting up own individual private exchange sites for your select employee groups. There are statement inserts, there are flyers, there's point of sale materials. So there is plenty of available marketing materials to not only let your members know about it, but to extend it to your select employee groups as well. Mike asks, will federal subsidies be available to qualified members and or employees who purchase through the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint Exchange?
They absolutely will.
Excellent. And Kate from the exchange team notes that once we have the information from the credit union, some baseline information, logo, colors, taglines, the URL that you want to have for your exchange. If the site doesn't require a lot of special customization, it can usually be up and running within 1 week to be able to start promoting that to your membership. All right, just as one final reminder, on the right-hand side of your toolbar, there is a place to post questions, and the questions, as you've already been witnessing, can be addressed by each of our panelists today. And just as a reminder to you, you can visit creditunionexchangeblueprint.com to gather lots of information about how the exchange works, to post a request for a demo, to see some of the literature that's available, as well as you can go ahead and try to enroll and become one of the charter members of the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint. Heidi asks an additional question: how are the premiums calculated from the carriers? Is there a benefit to having a large pool of consumers in the exchange?
That's been the traditional model that, obviously insurance is the law of large numbers, and the more you group together, the better pricing can be made available. 2014 is going to change that. The Affordable Care Act has brought in rating rules and marketplace rules that are actually going to make group insurance or pooled insurance, as you mentioned, less attractive, because it's going to have a requirement on that employer to make contribution to the point where the employee's portion has to be affordable. And if they're offering group insurance and it's made affordable to the employee's portion, if they have a family or any dependents, they cannot access the government subsidies that are going to help lower the cost and make it more affordable. So it's going to be even more important that the individual market, they basically pooled the individual market in a way that the numbers that you're talking about, to where you get stabilization in the rates because of the amount of participation, is going to be in the individual market, not only from the carrier's perspective because of the mass that's going to be there, but also because of the government subsidies that are going to be offsetting the cost for the individuals. So it's going to stay affordable for those individuals. For example, an individual right now, the average group insurance premium is around $465 a month. Whereas on the exchange, regardless of the carrier, the silver metallic plan design will cost an individual that makes up to 400% of the federal poverty level, at most $365. So it's going to stay more affordable for that individual. An employer can make a defined contribution, tax-free dollars available to be spent towards other benefits like accident, critical illness, or out-of-pocket expenses in lieu of offering group insurance. That's the model most employers are adopting, and it's because of some of the new marketplace rules that are coming into play in 2014.
Very good. And Glenn asks a very important question: will the credit union be required to have someone on staff that is a licensed insurance agent?
Wayne?
Yeah, the answer is no. One of the things that we have created is we actually have two models that we've got in place. We do recognize that there are a lot of credit unions throughout the country that do have insurance agents on staff within their QSOs, and the exchange is designed to support those strategies. We also know that there's a lot of credit unions that don't want to get into the business, or they don't have the expertise to do that, and so we have a model that, like Josh has shared, that's a turnkey model, and that is not required.
Very good. Ann asks, if we are interested as a credit union in signing up as a charter member, where do we go?
You go to creditunionexchangeblueprint.com, if you would, and put in the information, and one of my team or myself will be in touch. We're very excited, again, as I mentioned early on about this, about getting some credit unions on board with us at the early part of this program. HPA and EPL have worked very hard in putting together this infrastructure that we think has tremendous opportunity for credit unions, and we're looking to involve credit unions now as we take the blueprint, if you will, and start building the house. And again, we have a very substantial product today. I don't want to state that we need to continue to build it, but what we are looking for is how to integrate this blueprint and this new opportunity into existing credit union strategies. So please go to the Credit Union Insurance Blueprint.com website and sign up, and we will follow up from there.
Very good. And Mark asks, if we have additional questions, who can we contact?
I would appreciate if you would, you can go out to creditunioninsurance.com and just let us know you've got questions, and we'll follow up with you. My email, you can write it to wayne.benson@epl.net, or you can write it to Kathy Hulsey. That's Kathy with a C, and Hulsey, Hulsey, @epl.net as well. So either one of us, and that information is listed in the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint.com website as well.
All right, very good. And one additional question, and we're coming to the end of the question, so just as a reminder to everyone, we still have time available. If there are additional questions that you're thinking about and you'd like to pose to the panelists, please go ahead and do so right now on the question toolbar on the right-hand side of your, or the question tab on the right-hand side of your toolbar. But the next question coming from Mike is, I see on the screen that's showing small business benefits. Is this talking about the select employee group private exchange?
Small businesses are obviously one of the biggest groups that are going to be impacted by health reform. They're going to have the most changes because of the new rating rules and because the majority of their employees are going to benefit from subsidies, and they don't face a penalty for allowing their employees to access that. So the benefits and the solutions that we can make available through the exchange, I believe, are what's represented here on the screen.
Very good. And Adam notes one additional question. Where do we find the ROI calculator that was mentioned earlier in the session?
I believe that's something that when you set an appointment with Wayne or Kathy, they're able to take your credit union member numbers and put that into a calculator and share with you. I don't think it's posted anywhere.
Yeah, Josh, you're correct. That is not on a website, but we will work with credit unions when they're talking to us, and we do have the ability of working with them to evaluate the ROI of this program.
Right. So Adam, simply go to creditunionexchangeblueprint.com, fill out the contact information sheet, and you can get a free calculation and discussion about the exchange. All right. So just as a reminder to you, the exchanges is kind of a recap of some of the questions and answers in today's session at the end. The exchange is up and available right now. So if you are interested, you can go again to creditunionexchangeblueprint.com, find out more questions or more answers to your questions. You can also get a free evaluation and discussion about the exchange and how it can fit for your credit union. And there's also plenty of information available to you to be able to share with others within your credit union. So I want to thank Wayne and EPL and Josh Hilgers for today's session and the amazing information that was shared and the easy to understand presentation about the complexities that are out there in the health insurance world. So with that, I don't see any other questions. So Wayne or Josh, I'll ask you to have any final closing comments, and then we'll draw the session to a close for today.
I just want to thank all of you for attending today. I know time is short for everyone, but I think this was an investment hopefully that you found well worth it, and we are looking forward to engaging with you to develop strategies to implement the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint in your credit union or in your CUSO. And I also, again, want to thank Josh and his team for the partnership that we formed here at EPL to deliver the solution to credit unions. And if you have additional questions, please let Kathy or I know. We look forward to talking to you, and thanks again for your attendance.
Josh, any final words of advice?
Yeah, I just, again, appreciate everybody's time today. I would say, with my experience and my working with consultants, large consulting firms, insurance producers, they're all looking for what you have, that unique advantage that you have of serving members and the ability to leverage the technology and the solutions that are available through the Credit Union Exchange Blueprint. Gives you such a unique opportunity. We hope we were successful in presenting that opportunity that you have, and look forward to working with you on executing it with your members.
Very good. Wayne, thank you. Josh, thank you. And one final reminder to everyone, today's session was recorded, both audio and video. It will be available on EPL's website, which is epl.net, as well as the CreditUnionExchangeBlueprint.com site to be able to share with any other folks at your credit union. I want to thank everyone for your attendance today. Happy Thursday. And please visit CreditUnionExchangeBlueprint.com to get your questions answered, and have a fantastic day. Thank you, everyone.